I'm Aaron Gallo.
I'm Marty Hogan.
And I'm Eric Perry.
And we're from the Starfleet Escape podcast. And you're listening to another great Four-Eyed Radio product. For more shows, check out foureyedradio.com.
It's your good pal Steve-O from the 4i Radio Network. I'm here to talk to you about a wonderful designer we all know, Revenge Lover. Illustrates and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, please visit revengelover.com. And just do yourself a favor and tell them Steve-O sent you. I know it really doesn't count for anything, but I mean, come on. Who are you gonna trust? You gonna trust somebody else? No, you're gonna trust me, Steve-O. Because, face it, I'm awesome.
I'm Mike Turner.
I'm John Turner.
And you are listening to
the Brothers Turner Podcast.
Episode 80. We have, since we last cut up, we've experienced some loss. It's time to mourn.
Let's do it.
I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. And I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a billion stars all around. 'Cause I got a peaceful, I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. And I found out a long time ago what a woman can do to your soul.
That is, that's some sad stuff, isn't that? That's, first of all, fantastic fucking song.
Yes, it is.
Peaceful, easy feeling.
I'm already standing.
Yeah, he's really saying some things in that one. And,
it's a young man, too. I mean, the way he writes that, you would think he's been through a whole life full of experience.
Well, he had already met Bob Seger at that point.
That's all we got to do. Meeting Bob Seger.
He met Bob Seger at that point. So that's all the growing up you need sometimes.
Oh, man. Can you imagine hearing stories from Bob Seger at 18? You probably would feel like you'd lived a whole life. I see what you're saying there.
But that was the Eagles' Peaceful, Easy Feeling.
Written by Glenn Frey.
Right. And, it's just, it sucks. He's dead. He went ahead and passed away.
He did.
Like earlier this week, we're recording this. He passed away on this Monday. So that one, that's one of those songs that takes me. The Eagles are always one of those cliche bands that people probably watch the documentary and they say, "Oh, you do things to the Beatles or to the Eagles, I should say." And but that always takes me to places in my life. I think
certainly
that song takes me to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
specifically. And being so peaceful at night. We'd listen to that song specifically every night, if you remember.
I do.
When we passed out, or when we just started laying down and look up at the stars.
There was you want to talk about a peaceful, easy feeling. That was a peaceful, easy feeling. And I think that's what he's talking about. Is getting to that spot.
Yeah.
Or at least trying to get back there, or being there, staying there.
It's, and then he did that second verse with, what does he say? Oh my God, we just heard it too.
Found out a long time ago.
Yeah, what a woman can do to your soul.
She can't take you any place you don't already know how to go.
Those are good lyrics.
Very good lyrics. He's the man, dude. Glenn Frey is that's an interesting band because they both, him and Henley, I think, together, one of the greatest songwriting duos
ever.
Very good, prolific stuff. But and I don't know that he gets as much due as he should, because Henley went on to
Henley's name is so much more, so it could stand alone on its own much better than Glenn Frey, and even Joe Walsh probably outshines Glenn Frey to a certain degree because he had some hits by himself.
Absolutely.
Randy Meisner, not as much.
Meisner was, what do you say in that documentary? He'd been up all night with a couple girls and a bottle of vodka. He didn't feel like singing Take It to the Limit that night. Glenn said, well, fuck you.
But yeah, Glenn Frey passed away. It's just sad. I think it sucks to me because I always wanted, that was a band that I always wanted to see live. And for some reason, I always put it off. One time they were here, and it was just sold out.
Expensive tickets as well.
Yeah. But then I just always said, like, next time they're here, it was one of those things that I said, next time they're here, I'm going to go no matter what. And, that'll never happen.
And they were supposed to do one of those Kennedy Center honors.
Mm-hmm.
One of those, like a lifetime achievement thing, and he got sick right before they were going to do it, so he couldn't do it. And apparently, it's the thing that took his life. So it's too bad for sure. And one of my favorite things, or Glenn Frey, one of our, you mentioned it earlier, Bob Seger's one of our heroes, and he sings on their first album.
Ramblin' Gambling Man.
He's in the background on
Which
Ramblin'
is
Gambling
one of my
Man.
favorite Bob Seger songs, too.
And he's 19 years old.
And Seger's like, you can really hear him kicking in there. I
know.
I just watched the documentary about the history of the Eagles, first of all, is easily in the conversation for one of the greatest music documentaries ever made. Just because it's so, even if you don't like the Eagles are like omnipresent, I feel like, especially living out in the Southwest. They
were writing those songs about
that's
out here.
Yeah. And I really got into the Eagles more so as an adult, living here too. And it is very apropos. Every song they write is very, it enhances your surroundings if you're driving on a desert highway.
You have been on a dark desert highway before with cool wind in your hair. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. I've had a couple of instances that felt like an Eagles song.
Certainly.
And, it sucks. But that was a sad one.
Absolutely. But, and that's too young. 67, that's not old, man.
Yeah, but sometimes I think about it. There I go talking about death again.
Almost out the stress. It helps the breath get in.
I need to check my friends.
That's a great lyric.
As well as my next of kin to let them all know I love them all until the end.
Yeah.
But I feel like I think about death a lot. But my thing on death with that type of thing. So you've got 3 people actually have died since the last time we recorded.
Tough start, 2016.
To 2016, yes.
Tough start.
But 67, Glenn Frey lived 67 years. I mean, you're talking about living.
Oh, he lived more than I'll ever live in 67 years.
I never feel that bad about that. It's sad. I think at that point, the only reason you feel bad about Glenn Frey being gone is a selfish need for us as people to need him to give us more. But he did everything he wanted to do. I bet if you talk to Glenn Frey,
by 35.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously his family and friends deserve him to still be around at that age. But
sure.
As far as living a full life, I don't feel too bad for him. He did it the right way.
Absolutely.
Sucks that he's gone, but
yeah,
when he was here, you're talking about taking it to the limit.
L-I-V-I-N. Living. Absolutely, man. That sucks. But been listening to first of all, we listen to a lot. I'm not gonna lie, we listen to a lot. I listen to at least a lot of Eagles all the time, anyways.
All the time.
So
yeah, I do too. So it's not like out of the norm that I'm listening to them a
I
lot.
listen to a lot, and then I'm like trying to find. I got some deep cuts that people are like, "Wow, you know that song?" Yeah, I do. True Love, one of his solo songs, good one.
I walked in the apartment. You were listening to it by yourself.
Soul searching.
I mean, they have lyrics. I think Glenn
for days
had the turn of a phrase more. I mean, Glenn Frey is the dude that took Jackson Browne's "Take It Easy" and he added on the most integral part of the whole fucking song. I mean, you got standing on the corner of Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. That's where Jackson Browne couldn't get past. And he comes in and just says, there's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me. I mean, you are already
Don't
on the
say
corner,
maybe. Yeah.
corner of Winslow, Arizona, and that's painting a beautiful picture.
Right. There's
But
a
that
statue
next
there.
line, yeah, they do have a statue there. The next line paints the most descriptive but also amazing picture in your mind.
Would
that
you
can
love to
think.
see a girl on a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look
There's
at you?
a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford,
Slowing down.
slowing down to take a look at me.
Come on, baby. Don't say maybe. I got to know if your sweet love is going to save me.
We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. It's crazy.
Open up,
but
I'm climbing in.
But he took that turn of the phrase is very obviously iconic in music history.
And he was very good at that with, like a bunch of his songs, they say just kind of came out of, that was the way he talked. That was the way he looked at life in like in little different.
Life in the Fast Lane.
Life in the Fast Lane, and just like little cool little quips. And that was just how he talked. And people probably thought he was a total fucking douchebag for talking like that. But if it allows you to, if you're also in the music business and you're trying to be kind of corny and rhyme some things,
He
like he said,
recognized that.
like he's in the bar and you saw the documentary where, and he looks at that girl with the older man. He's
those
like, look at
lion
those
eyes, man."
lion eyes, man.
Yeah.
And turns it into a song.
Yeah.
With a whole, back and forth about a man and a woman.
And a very good one.
Very good.
So, R.I.P. to Glenn Frey.
Absolutely.
Of the two, I always thought he came off. I've rewatched that documentary multiple times, but you can just tell the egos they got in the way of that.
All of them had gigantic egos.
But they were the American version of the Beatles, I think, more so than any other band. And they were the first. I always say that I think that they're the first boy band. As weird as that sounds, because now we think of boy bands as NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I see what
But
you're
they
saying.
were like the first boy band to me because the
And then to go
individuals,
solo.
because the individuals after what the band did was they could all stand alone. I mean, you're talking about Joe Walsh is the third of the. Joe Walsh is a beast.
Joe was killing it.
He was already killing it before.
And then they brought him in. It was very and it wasn't like, well, the Beatles were always the same four guys, but then for them to add people or subtract, like kick a guy out, bring a better guy in, bring Joe Walsh in.
Yeah,
that's crazy. In the middle of '75, to be like, let's get the best guitarist in the fucking world.
Yeah, it's so. And they to me are the greatest American rock band of all time.
It's good stuff.
So
Pearl Jam.
They'll
It's
never
right
be. Yeah, I don't know. Pearl Jam, I guess that's biased, but
Oh no, they're
I'm
great.
very big.
I love the Eagles.
Yeah, first album ever, first CD ever. My first tape actually ever was Rod Stewart Unplugged. I think we've talked about that. My first CD ever was Dad got me Hell Freezes Over.
Right.
And we used to play that on that little blue boombox. Remember that blue boombox?
Yeah.
And
wow.
And we had that. I don't know. Yeah, we
Oh
played
no,
that all the time.
I remember it being very weird because the seeing the or whatever Glenn or seeing Don Henley. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys Don Henley's with? And then Dad being like, these are the Eagles. This was the band they're with.
Eagles.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's Don Henley. I know Don Henley because I remember growing up in the '80s. Henley was killing it. Part of the matter,
I didn't
crushing
know anything
it. And
about
I
him.
knew who Don Henley was. And then I'm like, why is he playing drums with these guys?
I was like 8 years old, and I remember I had a teacher on a Monday ask me what you did this weekend or whatever, and it was a big deal at that point to me. It was like my dad got me a CD, and she's like, oh, what was it? I said the Eagles, Hell Freezes Over.
Michael,
and I
need to
remember
speak to
her.
you in the hallway.
It was Mrs. Schwartzman. Remember her?
Sure.
And she was like, that's amazing.
It's a good weekend. That's a good weekend for
I'll
you.
never forget that reaction. No, and I will always remember that reaction being like, I guess this is a big deal to people.
She probably was like, I did the
"Damn."
same thing.
Yeah, I get the same
Had about
shit.
13 margaritas and called my ex-husband.
What did you think about the new stuff? You know?
I don't know. I'd say get over it.
In a New York minute. Ooh. That had a couple of okay ones.
Not Solo Henry.
Oh, that was Solo Henry. What was the new song they did?
Get
on
over
that?
it.
Get Over It. Yeah, that's true. That was the new song. That was pretty good.
I like to find her in a child and kick his little ass. I like that.
Get over it.
So yeah, Glenn Frey.
Other than Glenn Frey,
Rest in peace.
another iconic musician. I think you're a little bit more familiar than.
Yeah, we're sorry to get so, it is what it is. This is the important stuff to us. Life happens. But
we're
David.
big on. Hey, we're just a ball of pop culture with some arms and feet.
Exactly. And they, but yeah, David Bowie, a week before that, passed away. I think it was Monday to Monday. And they always say it comes in threes, which is so strange.
Yeah.
And I think it's also a January. I don't know any facts on this at all, but I really do feel like the new year, a lot of people, it's like they want to stay through the holidays or something. I don't want my family to see me die on Christmas or New Year's. And then they just kind of give up in the new year, which is a horrible thing.
No, there's truth to that, I would think.
But, yeah, David Bowie died about a week and a half ago.
And he did it in such a David Bowie way.
Did you watch? Have you seen the music video for Lazarus?
I didn't watch the music video, but I read about how it's just pretty much a goodbye.
An artist all the way through, yeah.
He was. I don't know enough about David Bowie.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, that's true. I watched a couple interviews since he's passed, and
interesting
from
guy.
the 70s and 80s, like Dick Cavett,
right?
Had an interview with him. It was one of the first on American television. Just bizarre.
Interesting.
And just
dude.
so
Well, he
coked up.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I know the one you're talking about. Is he just fidgeting through the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's high on cocaine or whatever he was on. But yeah, he did a ton of drugs.
Yeah.
But just an interesting dude. I mean, he would change like a chameleon. Just whatever he whatever he wanted to go do, he went and did it, and was incredible at it. He'd do funk. He was kind of folky to begin with, not folky, but in his own way. He just did whatever the hell he wanted to do his whole life.
Yeah, and I think it'd be more. It's easily looked back upon and being like, "Oh, that's cool. That's what he did." We've got people like Lady Gaga doing that or whatever now, but it's like he was doing it in an era of drug experimentation, but not of a society that was open and accepting of things like that as much as we are now.
To create a persona like Ziggy Stardust and paint your face like a person from outer space, dye your hair red, and just come out there and say, "This is me."
And also make hits.
Yeah, and also have that song be a hit track.
Yeah.
And then go, I'm gonna dive into funk
Mm-hmm.
and write a song like Fame.
He
What
did.
you want? It's in that limo. Fame, Let's Dance.
Yeah, Let's Dance.
He went in the
always
80s
remember.
and said, "I'll just crush this decade. I'll be
Yeah.
the Goblin King from Labyrinth. I don't care."
It's wild.
I never really got it. I think I saw the Labyrinth once. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't that.
I never saw the Labyrinth.
Strange
and
movie.
I never had the desire to. I don't always love some of the things. I never saw Pan's Labyrinth either.
I saw that.
Do I need to see that?
I didn't. I wasn't like mind blown like some people are.
People sit back and it's like, that's the greatest movie ever.
Come on,
It
get
wasn't?
serious.
Yeah. Get real, they tell me.
This is an atmosphere tinged episode. I like it. Almost
I've
all
been-
of ours. Are.
I have been bumping, before Glenn Frey died, I have been specifically diving into You Can't Imagine How Much Fun We're Having. That album.
What is that?
2005.
That's in between Seven's Travels
It's
and
after Seven's Travels and before,
Paint That Shit Gold.
yeah.
Oh,
And underrated. It's
Good
got
stuff.
Say Hey There on it. It's got
Pour Me Another.
Pour Me Another. It has Watch Out,
Oh,
Panic Attack. They've Arrived, or it's just called The Arrival. Oh my God!
I feel like those things albums, like, I don't know. That one probably just got. Forget about Atmosphere when that came out.
Came out my freshman year in college, and I remember listening to it a couple times. And I was like, "He's on some other shit," and I wasn't ready for it at that point. And that's why I wanted to revisit it, because I remember it had like a couple hits I really like, and now you listen to it and you're like, dude, he is. It's so. I guess I was
like
listening to
33
it
or something back then.
He's talking about some things as he always does, but you're like, dude, this is still relevant as fuck to me in my life as I
Always.
continue to try to age as a man.
God Loves Ugly will always be. It has been relevant since the day it came out when I was
Dude,
15,
go
16.
revisit. Can't imagine how much fun we're having.
I will.
Hockey hair, dude.
Hockey hair. Give that a spin. That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
But yeah, thinking about death again. Whenever
Yep.
this stuff happens, I do think of that lyric.
Yeah.
Because it humbles out the stress. It helps the breath get in.
I need to check my friends as well as my next of kin.
Oh, man. So Bowie and Frey. I think about this when people die in threes and stuff. Can you imagine being Farrah Fawcett's family or Farrah Fawcett?
No.
She died in the morning on July 5th.
Oh, of
2005.
Michael Jackson.
About 2-3 hours later, Michael Jackson died.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I might prefer that.
I guess you're right, but I mean,
in a weird way. I mean,
talk about a little overshadowing.
Yeah. Well,
can we talk about Farrah for a second?
Michael Jackson died. That was the biggest thing in the world.
That was crazy, dude. I remember you're watching CNN and people are just outside they're like, what are we? People didn't know what to do. They left their job to go stand outside the hotel or the hospital.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
I remember I was on the somebody texted me and then I turned the radio on and then it was like, whoa.
I saw it on Facebook and then turned the TV on.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was in a car, I remember.
That was a strong week, though.
And then if you're not with somebody that really understood, I remember I was dating a girl from this girl, the friend I had for a while from Mexico, and I don't think it hit her. And you're just trying to be like, Michael Jackson just fucking died.
She's like, Thriller? Yeah. Like, you have no idea.
You don't get it.
Bowie died.
You do.
You almost want to fucking. You know what? Why don't you just we're through?
Stop it.
But same thing happened with me with the Bengals lost on Saturday and Bowie died on Monday. It is what it is. I understand there's no place for. I didn't know the man, but still, I was like, God, man, really, that sucks. And
Bowie
just
was
like
cool.
just hit you in the head. You know what I mean?
John just hit himself.
I did hit myself in the head, but yeah, and you're looking at it, I was like, damn, David Bowie died, and she's got no clue. No clue. She's like, who?
Bowie's cool. I know.
Like,
I know.
I'm like, okay.
I know Bowie on the surface, which is such a bad thing to say about David Bowie because.
I mean, whatever. You know, who knows?
Well, he's one of those guys that if you dove deep,
you still got the chance. I only did because a guy we worked with, Ed Callahan, yeah, implored me to dive in. He's like, this stuff is really good. Give it a try. And I did, and he was right.
People love Bowie.
Yeah. But yeah, girls don't understand.
No, certain things. And then the other, it did come in threes because the other person that passed was somebody that we love as well, Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
And we always like, I don't know, I guess, we're turning this into a tribute thing, but whatever. We should touch on all of it. Alan Rickman, to me, was just one of those people in movies that you just trusted to not fuck the movie up. And if anything, his presence might even enhance the movie. And that's an underappreciated thing. It's like, it's like seeing when Philip Seymour Hoffman used to be in movies. It's like, this is probably not only a good movie, but he's probably, he's not going to be the leading man. He might not even be on the fucking poster.
Anytime he's on screen, though.
He's killing it.
He's accountable. He's one of those guys who you're like, this guy is in the zone. He's not going to choose a part that isn't a good part. I don't think he's ever going to do anything not for the money. Yeah, Rickman was great. His first movie is Die Hard. Number one.
First, I think it's his first American
movie role.
Film. Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was a play guy. He was a play actor.
First movie role in IMDb, Die Hard, Hans Gruber. He could have stopped right there. And we'd still be talking about him today, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, did he? Was,
I'm not. I seriously stand behind that.
Well, that is to me the greatest. It's not the greatest action movie. It's what I would call the quintessential action.
Oh,
film.
People modeled it after the way he did.
That
villain
movie spawned everything. That movie changed.
We could spend
how
the rest of
movies were made.
the rest of this podcast talking about
Steven Seagal isn't a person if Die Hard isn't a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would have been a weird person.
Yeah, probably just went
Super
right to
weird.
being a cop.
Yeah.
I told you I saw him at Grimaldi's a couple years back.
Yeah. What'd you ask him?
Are you under siege or?
Yeah, you said.
No, he wanted a private room, and he wouldn't sit there with the general public. I said, "What do you think you are, above the law?"
That's right.
It didn't go over so well.
Oh, man.
That makes me laugh. I don't care.
That's fine.
Hard to kill in a private room. Oh, man.
You could just see him stewing, man. It looked like he had a fire down below.
Oh, man. Dark territory we're heading into now.
We're going to dark territory now.
But yes, sorry. Back to Alan Rickman.
Well, he was like, I think they call them character actors. When I think of character actors, I think of a person that's like third, fourth, tertiary role, maybe. that third or fourth role in the film. Steve Buscemi is never going to be a leading man, but he's important in almost every. John Turturro comes to mind. Don Cheadle, to a degree,
plays a great character.
Yeah, like he'll always pretty much everybody in Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights is a great movie.
Is all good character actors, right?
Great movie.
That's a fantastic movie. William H. Macy.
Do you like The Car Man? Think it's cool?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mike. Whatever.
Have you seen my wife?
Oh God.
Jesus.
Fuck. That's so bad. That's how they started out the
80s. Yeah. But Alan Rickman was one of those great actors, and he was also played a villain in multiple roles just so well. You weren't a big Harry Potter guy?
I talked about this. I stopped after 3 or 4. I think I saw 4.
Spoiler alert: Snape, kind of misunderstood. Not that bad of a dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
he looks like a bad dude. He's got a horrible name.
He's a bad dude, but he fell in love with the wrong bitch and just kind of got caught up.
Yeah,
overseeing, kind of just caring for this little lad from afar.
Yeah.
Always really never got over her. But Alan Rickman played Snape, and then Hans Gruber to me though. So Die Hard is the quintessential action film, and he is the best bad guy.
He's got the perfect accent, just the way the way he does anything. Slowly with the walkie-talkie, the way he talks into it. Honestly, everything he does in that movie, he does no wrong. I love Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Great name.
Shoot the glass.
Scheißen die Glas.
That, so it sucks. And Netflix, by the way, going back to that, has History of the Eagles on there. Also, I'll tell you right now, Netflix has Galaxy Quest.
That is a good movie.
That is a very good movie.
Sam Rockwell?
That was his breaking,
I saw that in theaters. I remember really liking that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen it in 10 years, though.
I watched it in its entirety this weekend.
Holds up?
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, it's only like 90 minutes. Just crushed it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I watched Training Day 2 nights ago.
Yeah, you did. That's on Netflix.
It is.
Yeah.
Smiles and cries, man.
Dude, Denzel in that movie. It's fucking... You do forget how good an actor can be, you know?
He was in an absolute zone in that one. He's so good in that role. Give him the bitch.
Tell me a story, Hoyt. Tell me a story. You know what a newspaper is? Newspaper has stories in it. But you're coming over here, you're interrupting me from reading my stories in my newspaper. So why don't you just shut the fuck up and tell me a story?
Jake Hoyt. Underrated. Hoyt?
Ethan Hawke.
Great.
He's actually usually a leading man, but he makes good movies. Ethan Hawke's the man.
Should we touch on the last loss?
The last thing we lost since 2016 started was our aspirations for a Super Bowl.
We did. We haven't talked about it much because it's a painful thing to talk about. How are you? We're about 2 weeks out now, right? 2 weeks?
Yeah. I mean,
week and a half out. How you feeling?
I still get worked up over it.
Oh, I could get myself
once a day.
I could get myself worked into a frenzy if I really started thinking about it.
I think a lot of stuff happened, and I just fucking hate the national narrative that's being portrayed about how we have these. We've got a coach that has no control over his team, and we've got these dirty players and shit like that. And I'm not saying that we're like saints in this, but both teams are playing in the mud. And it's not like, I mean, just because they advance to the next round doesn't mean they're not a bunch of fuckboys. And if you're going to accuse us of having a coach that doesn't control his team, you're the one, Pittsburgh, that doesn't have a coach that can control his coaches even,
right? Let
alone his team. They're a bunch of fucking assholes. You got one coach on the field talking shit to our players, and then the other guy's pulling our fucking player's hair when he's on the sideline. And then your coach also came up to Marvin Lewis after the fucking game and said, "I'm sorry that happened. I'll call you." You don't apologize if you don't know you're in the wrong. Fuck them.
I'm sorry that happened. I'll call you.
Did you see that yet? You want to really get worked up again?
Oh,
There's
you
NFL
watched that?
films.
You watched that?
I had to,
You're
dude.
crazy.
You
I can't watch
do
that,
it, man.
No, you
Dude,
can't. I'm never watching that.
Jeremy Hill
I'll watch it years
after
from
the
now.
fumble
I
is
saw
one of the most depressing things you'll ever see.
I mean,
Yeah, you don't have
I
to
don't
watch
need to watch it.
I'll take that burden.
I can only imagine how horrible that is. I heard he keeps saying just no. Like it can't be.
Like a child.
Well, the thing is
like a child that didn't understand. Like
my take on it
was
is
sad.
Is that I agree completely with you that I don't care about the national narrative at all. I really don't care what people think.
I care because I got to fucking defend. Dude, I've had to defend myself multiple times this week about how dirty of a person and a player that Vontaze Burfict is. It's like, dude, that hit could have been 20 times worse if you want him to be accused
I don't
of
think
dirty.
he's a horrible person. I think that people are stupid. I don't think what he did. It could have been worse. You're right. I do also think that he also could have not hit him at all.
He's going full speed across the field. I really honestly think he was going full speed across the field. You could tell he at least started to let up. His shoulder ran into his fucking head. And in this day and age, especially with the amount of eyes that were on the field and the way that they do slow motion,
I know. It looks so much worse in slow motion. It does. And it didn't look great in full speed. But
you know what didn't look good in slow motion? The hit on Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah.
That went uncalled and was a turnover. And a week or two later, they tell us from the VP of officiating that the fucking Martavis Bryant catch, which obviously he never had control of because he continued to move across his body the whole fucking time, was not a catch. It's just all very frustrating. And I don't want to blame the refs because at the end of the day, Jeremy Hill fumbled the ball.
Jeremy Hill, none of that is even said. None of that happens if Jeremy Hill doesn't hang on to the ball. And it's so infuriating because from when you're a 10-year-old kid, you have to know situational football, and when you have to understand the only thing we cannot do is turn over the ball. That's the one thing you can't do. So let's make sure. I don't care if you've been carrying it that way your whole life. Put two hands on it, or don't go for that extra yard. Just go down after 4 yards.
Tiki Barber
adjusted. Make sure we have the fucking football.
Tiki Barber adjusted. Remember when
I just wish we didn't. It's just I was with you when it happened, watching the game, and I've never been so happy. So happy when we scored the touchdown, and then Vontaze picks it off, and I honestly I've never felt that way in a Cincinnati sports history. Honestly, I was like, we're really gonna do this. We're with our best friends. We're all together. The Houday crew. We're having the best time. We're thinking we're really gonna beat the Steelers, and it was so just incredibly deflating. And then the fact that I understand Adam Jones needs to understand that he. Before that, Joey Porter cannot be on the field, and it's obviously a penalty. That's a flag, and it's just offsetting. To give them 15 more yards is ridiculous. Now, Adam Jones is kind of an idiot for pushing Joey Porter in front of a ref. What did you think he was going to do?
He pushed a ref.
Right. Well, he
touched a ref.
Which you can't do. You just can't do.
He didn't ever touch Joey Porter. He just touched a ref.
I'd like to get my hands on Joey Porter.
Well,
in a back alley.
You don't talk about the NFL.
Me and Levi Jones.
The NFL fucked this whole thing up because they put the same officiating crew that called the last game on the fucking thing. The last game was week 14, and it was a bloodbath. It was a shit show, and there was no control that the officiating crew had. And how do they reward them? By putting the same people on the field again. It makes you think, I don't know. I mean, I think that I hate sitting back and like blaming the refs. And I'm not doing that as much as just saying it's fucked up how many things just didn't go our way. But at the end of the day, we could have won the game still if you just don't fumble the ball, which in hindsight now looks like could have been reviewed in a different way too. There's a couple of photos I've seen where his knee was down.
Right.
But the way that they call it, you can't reverse it. And it goes to the call on the field. So we had the call on the field fuck us over on like multiple things. And the call on the field always went towards them, and in no way could they have overturned it. Meanwhile, they were all 50-50 calls. The Martavis Bryant thing, the fucking Giovanni Bernard hit that turned into a fumble.
Assault. That's assault, brother.
That's assault, brother. And then, if he wasn't concussed, we wouldn't have had Jeremy Hill in the game because Giovanni is our guy that doesn't fumble. He would have been carrying the ball late in the game. Oh, I get worked.
No, I know. If you really get to thinking about it, it gets you very angry. But
and now we don't know who we're going to be next year. We'll bring a lot of people back, but we'll be a different team. We'll be a good team.
I think so.
We just won't have the Bengals. Will have to make a decision between George Aloka, Sean Williams, and Reggie Nelson. I think Sean Williams deserves a start.
I think Reggie
so
goes.
we lose. Yeah, which sucks because Reggie's the man.
But he's like 32.
I know. Aloka's like 25 or 26.
Yeah. It's part of the thing.
Pac-Man, dude. Psst, call me crazy. I want him back, dude. I want him back. He had the thing that gets overshadowed in this. He had his best statistical year of his
great
career.
Year. But how about Vinny Ray not getting that interception earlier in the game?
Dude, big turning point. I look back on that a lot.
That was horrible. But also Dalton not playing. I think that they could not score. The Steelers could not score, and I'm sorry, we also could not score. That's what I'm really trying to say. Is like I feel like if Dalton was in there and if we rolled into the playoffs the way we were playing until we played the fucking Steelers and he broke his thumb. If we had Dalton, I feel like we could have scored.
Looking nice.
Would have been rolling at home with Dalton.
Would have been Scotty rolling.
Scatterberg.
Scatterberg, that's right. Combining third base.
Love that guy. First base.
But now we are it's red season.
We're in this room. God. That was really hard. That was that was worse than that was the worst playoff loss I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
That was absolutely by far the worst feeling I've never. And she actually, Carolina, I thought she wouldn't be understanding.
And who is that?
Right, the Panthers, no. But she was actually pretty incredible about it, because I really was upset for the next. I'm still upset, but I was actually upset for days after that. And yeah, I don't know. I wish it didn't affect me that much, but that was a horrible loss. That sucked a lot. It still sucks. One I'll keep thinking about.
Yeah.
But let's move on to red season. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. I mean,
young team.
Yeah. What? Oh, you want to talk Reds baseball
right to Reds baseball?
Oh, dude, I actually, pitchers and catchers report super soon.
Eternal optimist. I really do. I don't know. I do think why not? Why not turn it around quickly? Have these young studs be young studs.
So I actually think I have a weird level of optimism. I think our division is too tough to win. But, I don't know. I mean, I'll be happy if they hover around 500. But we have these 5 rookie pitchers last year. I mean, they were good.
Yeah.
Raisel Iglesias is nicknamed El Duquito.
What's that? The little
El Duque.
I love
Remember El Duque?
Are you kidding me?
They compare him to El Duque.
I like that.
And he changed his arm angles a lot.
They did a lot of things that rookie pitchers do. They pitched well for a while, but you get that third time through the lineup.
Desclafini was good all year.
Tony Disco, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. He had a couple of months where he was kind of sputtering, but for the most part, he was good. Raisel Iglesias is going to be nice. Homer Bailey will be back in May. I heard whispers we're getting Bronson Arroyo back.
Did you? I've not heard this.
Oh, yeah. I heard that they've talked twice in the offseason already.
Get him back.
Why not?
Train him as a coach.
I just want him to be on the. That's the thing. I just want him to be a pitcher whisperer. Like, I just want him to talk to our guys.
He's best at.
Yeah, I just want him to teach our guys how to
Ask
be
Mike Leake
professionals.
how he feels about Bronson Arroyo.
Yeah, I agree completely. So I love that. And then, as weird as it is to get excited about a 38-year-old that throws 89 miles per hour tops.
I don't even need him start. Put him on. Just have him sitting in the.
I've never also seen a dude that throws 67 mile per hour junk.
Yeah,
and it is good.
And
good junk.
Whiffing on it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's now Reds. You know what? Hey, spring training is right around the corner. Oh, the nice thing about where we live is you can't be that upset.
It was like 70 degrees today. That is nice. Because the depression when you live in Cincinnati really sets in after a playoff loss like that.
When January,
when it's about a week later and it's 4 degrees.
Yeah,
and you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's gonna be cold till
people
April.
Are leaving town. You know what I'm saying? Like Hugh Jackson leaves. That's the thing. We love these great talent and great coaches, and they leave to go do other things.
I think it's frustrating, that we had this collection of talent that really was unique to only this year because we knew Hugh was leaving regardless, which is good. I'm happy for him. I don't care that he's in Cleveland. They're still the Cleveland Browns.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Trash
if
bag
he goes
fan
7-9, he's a great coach.
Trash bag fan base.
Hey, they're going to be tougher, though,
Trash
in a
bag.
couple years.
Trash bag tough.
Yeah.
Hefty tough.
I think I really do. I'm excited where the Bengals can go next year just because the nucleus is there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have depth like crazy.
And
we
need
to draft
fire?
a DT. Are you kidding me? We have Geno, but we are being told we need to draft a defensive tackle.
And you don't think they're going to be fired up to prove something again?
Man. And the thing I feel bad about is like people like Whitworth, people like Geno that didn't say anything all year, people like Reggie Nelson and these guys that just did their job.
AJ Green.
And it came down to, and Vontez has to feel bad.
He should feel bad.
And Jeremy Hill feels the worst.
Oh, yeah.
As he should, and that's what's not being talked about. Vontez still needs to mature. Pac-Man is Pac-Man. He had a really good interview with Brandon Marshall, actually. 22 minutes they talked.
I didn't watch that. I was too angry.
And he speaks, he talks about everything. And in a way that, other than him telling Antonio Brown to apologize,
that was a little ridiculous.
He's faking it.
Pac-Man.
But fuck it. I thought he was faking it for a little bit, too.
You really thought he was faking it?
You know what? He was smiling after the game. The thing is, I saw the Snapchats that he's referring to. Antonio Brown he did not look like a man that was severely concussed. But now in the day and age,
he didn't
concussion,
play. Yeah, fuck the Steelers, by the way. Let me just get that. I still want everybody to just know that.
Lost.
Yeah, fuck the Steelers. I thought I hated them 10 years ago after that part. I've never hated them so much in my entire life.
They have lost since.
Yeah, got beat by the Broncos. I'm riding Bronco Nation. I'd like to see Peyton Manning get one more ring.
Really? I'm going with Cam Newton. And I'll tell you why.
Don't get me wrong. I really have a dog in the race.
Yeah, we've got nothing going on. I mean, obviously,
but if you're a Steelers fan,
but
Mike Vick has a dog in that fight.
Fuck. And also to echo what you're saying and kind of row behind. Fuck the Steelers.
I'm drafting right now.
Fuck the whole city of Pittsburgh.
Sure.
But I like, if you're looking at the Final Four here within the NFL playoffs, I am seeing something that I remember seeing. I believe the year was either 2010 or 2011 when a man named Cam Newton was at Auburn.
Oh,
and
man.
He just didn't lose. And
he's won at every level.
And I think he's finally gotten to that point where I saw him with that confidence and that swagger of Auburn in the NFL now. And I fucking can't hate on that guy at all. I think he's a great professional. I think he's an awesome I would love to have him on our team. If we were a little worse that year.
Same draft
we
class,
had we had the 4th overall pick. And they said if Carolina didn't take him, he could have fallen to 4 because the other two teams didn't need a quarterback. That would have been crazy. That would never have happened.
We wouldn't have AJ either.
But, oh my God, we wouldn't have Dalton either. We'd have Cam Newton.
Holy shit. Yeah. He doesn't even have Kelvin Benjamin right now.
That's just crazy. Like, I just think that there's something that he's got this thing. I don't know what the fuck it is.
He's lost one game since he was in that car crash where he should have died.
No, he did. Was that last offseason?
No, not offseason. It was week 13. He played the next Sunday. And he's lost one game since in the regular season.
That's crazy.
He got in a car crash on Monday, played Sunday, and then went on
smiling. Remember that smile after the car
crash?
Yeah,
I remember thinking like, oh shit, this is horrible. But then you saw him smiling like, all right, he's fine.
He is just, I just feel like he's got this control of the game and like, he's just dude that.
Because second half, he wasn't smiling.
But, okay, you say that, but the fact that you as a team can get up on the Seattle Seahawks 31-0 says more about your team, I think, to me, than the fact that you let up the second half letdown. The fact that you get up on them by 31 points, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that was on them, too. That was on Russell Wilson. It wasn't so much Cam Newton. He threw a pick six, the second pass of the game.
You could say that's on Luke Kuechly, too, and the pressure up front. I mean, their defense
pressure
was
but
that's on the whole team.
I'm just saying, they've been doing that all year. They get up big.
And they
let
won
you back
15 times.
Yeah, but dog shit schedule. Dog shit division, too.
Okay. So who you rolling with? Denver?
Yeah, Denver.
Damn. So you think if Denver beats New England, they can beat either Arizona or Carolina?
I think they beat Arizona for sure.
I root, as sad as it is, I do not root for anything positive to happen to Carson Palmer.
Oh, no, honestly, I just don't.
I like this Larry Fitzgerald guy, though.
I think it is an issue that they gave up 24 points. I know it's impressive that they scored 31, but it's definitely an issue that they gave up 24 in the second half.
You're playing a great team. I can't believe they let up. They got 31 on them in the first half. Obviously, there will be a letdown. I'm not shocked that Seattle was a team to be able to come back in that game. I mean, they obviously had that situation with the Giants, too, but you're talking about a Russell Wilson comeback and an Eli Manning comeback. I mean, that's not that wild, and also human nature. What kind of coach is able to go into the halftime and rally the troops after they're up 31-0? I don't know what coach is able to do that.
Got to do it.
I know. I mean, they won the game, first of all.
They did.
I don't see how. I mean, Arizona almost lost to a team.
Should have lost. Should have been 5 picks in that game.
Should have, and Green Bay was not a good team coming into the playoffs.
Carson looks like a garbage bag out there.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers threw 2 Hail Marys on one drive.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
I'm not going to lie, I haven't watched a lot of it. I'm still angry.
I was too, but I went out with the people. I watched it.
I didn't want to watch. I had to work. I didn't really have a choice, but
that Arizona game, I do not root for Carson Palmer. I will, however, always back Larry Fitzgerald.
No, Larry Fitzgerald is man.
Larry Fitzgerald is probably one of the greatest athletes.
This is how Arizona went to the Super Bowl 8 years ago.
He got hot.
In Carolina.
Oh, yeah, well, Jake Delhomme's not going to be suiting up in this one.
I'm just saying. That was a tough place to play. And Larry Fitzgerald.
Well,
I would talk about Larry Fitzgerald more than Jake Delhomme.
Yeah, because I remember that I was big on that Carolina team too. So this is also reminiscent of that. I thought that
two-headed running back monster.
Yeah, they had the running game. This is a very well balanced offense.
Different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be the NFC Championship. Should be the game that decides it all. But I do think that if New England gets there, they can beat both of those teams. I don't think if Denver beats New England, they can beat either of those teams. But what the fuck do I know?
That's what I would say.
You know?
What does anybody know? It's just a prediction.
It's interesting that the 1 and 2 seeds from both end up going.
Should be the Bengals. I think we could have beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Totally think
we would have given the Patriots a good game. That would have been.
And who knows? Dalton could have been ready to go.
Yeah, they never mentioned that on any of the. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a moot point, as they say. John.
It is. Tough start to 2016.
2016.
Hopefully this gets better as the year keeps going. Election year, bud. But I saw a movie this weekend.
Oh yeah,
or last week actually.
I think we both saw the same movie.
I saw The Revenant.
I saw The Revenant as well.
What were your thoughts?
I thought it was just a brutal movie.
Brutal's definitely one word for sure.
I just thought I'd never seen a movie. I'm sure I've seen more brutal movies, but man, it sat with me. Watching it, a lot of times I was just like, "Ugh, this is tough stuff."
Oh yeah,
and it opens very brutally.
Yeah,
and it just gets going, and then but it's Battle of Survival. It's a new age Jeremiah Johnson. Is what it is with the broken
Robert
ankle.
Redford,
isn't it though?
I never saw Jeremiah Johnson.
He gets into some things with some savages.
By the way, I'll ask you here just because I want to. But what were they saying in the movie? The knee, the re,
huh?
The re. What were they calling the Indians?
The re? I don't know.
Remember they kept saying I saw 18 re by the river, or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
And I was trying to figure it out the whole time.
I never noticed it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good. I didn't think that directing wise, I thought it was super differently shot, and you could tell that guy's a fucking beast. But then I compare it to Birdman. I thought Birdman was a little better movie. But
Totally different subject matter.
yeah, but the director though, you could see the director's influence.
Oh, sure, the long shots, the one take.
Yeah, like the floating people here and there, things like that.
I thought it was beautifully shot. Like,
yes,
part of the part that I loved maybe the most was how just incredible it looked. The huge landscapes and shot it all in natural light.
Yeah. Tom Hardy was amazing.
Yeah.
Leo was amazing. And then the question is, what do you think he's going to win the Academy Award? I mean, I thought he was going to win the Academy Award on a lot of other things. So I never know. The Academy Award to me is so... Denzel didn't win for Hurricane. I mean, think about that. So what is an Academy Award?
I've been locked in here. That scene alone should have won him the
30 years.
That is crazy. Who won that year?
50 years old.
Who won?
Russell Crowe, Gladiator. But I don't. But that role to me in Gladiator does not supersede.
Gladiator should have won Best
accomplished.
Picture, which it did, right?
Yeah. But Denzel and Hurricane was so good.
He had to be crooked before he took it.
Yeah, right. Jadakiss said it. What'd you think of The Revenant?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the whole time was just, it starts out going, and that is a scary time to be coming up. Can you imagine living back then with like, oh man, back you're kind of like
you
very,
gotta do it, though. You got to be a fur trapper.
very primitive times.
Yeah.
Very like, do you remember when they were like they're like a bar in the back in the base or whatever? It's like lit by candles, the giant candles. You're having a beer. No one speaks real well. You're just a bunch of morons.
You can't be like, you don't have Bud Light? It's like, do we have this?
This is, I'm not even sure what it is, actually.
It's called Hooch.
Yeah, I brought this. It's been in the back of my...
fermenting some raspberries.
Since Virginia. And now we're here, dude. Do you want some or not? You do? And you're going to keep coming back for more?
I was thinking about the first dude that drank alcohol. That had to be a risk. Because to create alcohol...
It's a crazy process. That's been sitting in where, dude?
Yeah. What's it been doing? Yeah.
I
dare you to drink the whole thing. And then you start acting crazy. It's like, dude, I'm going to start drinking that too. He looks like he's having a good time.
Relax me.
The whole process of creating alcohol. Who came across that?
Those times were crazy, dude. And Indians? That scares me.
Dude, that opening scene. He's got a couple of the one long shot stuff that he does in that movie. Is very intense.
The very beginning scene where they're just, and it's through the woods. He's like moving right past these trees. You feel like you're in there with him.
Yeah.
There's a few fight scenes.
The whole movie's, dude.
I know what you're talking about.
Bear versus Leo was nutty.
Yeah, spoiler alert. There's a bear fight, and Leo doesn't win.
Oh, my Lord.
But, can you even imagine? Is that your worst nightmare?
The gunpowder scene? You kidding me?
You're ripping
Fishing
through the
in
woods.
the river?
Oh, my God.
There's so many. That movie, and I guess the only reason I would think, maybe that Leo, it could be his greatest performance. It is a really powerful performance from him, is that he said and did so much without saying any words in the movie.
Right.
Really, really well. Like, somebody was trying to tell me Tom Hardy was better than him. It's like, yeah, no, I don't think so at all.
Tom Hardy was great, though.
But Tom Hardy was great. Right? Tom Hardy was amazing in the movie. But you're talking about a guy that did 80% of it with nonverbal cues.
Because he couldn't speak.
Yeah. So,
the
movie was
good.
great.
Absolutely.
The Revenant was good. It was no Straight Outta Compton, but I thought it was one of the better movies I've seen all year.
Yeah, ask Jada Pinkett Smith. But, you got anything coming up? You heading out of town?
Yeah, I actually leave tomorrow. I'll be on a plane to Boca Raton, Florida.
Florida. Mikey T. You packing a swimsuit?
Well, it's going to be shitty weather, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So it's going to be like rainy on Friday, and then and we're staying at a big resort. It's called the Waldorf Astoria.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them around the country.
Yeah.
Some of the nicest in the country.
So I got chosen for my real job I got picked for a sales conference. So we get to go. Dude, I got a spa day on Friday. It's gonna be nutty. Dude.
I need a spa day. What is that, Big Sean?
Probably. So it's going to be good. The only rule my boss laid out yesterday was don't get too saucy and show up on time.
Well, those are two. Showing up on time, you're good at. Getting too saucy, you might have some issues with.
Oh, I think
What do you stick to? What do you stick to?
I mean, I think I
do you
stick
have
to
a
my
plan of
normal
action?
regimen. I don't move to anything hard till 10. And
do you wait until a certain person goes to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes you're like, I'm not even going to touch it until this guy's like, yeah, I'm heading up. You're like,
Yeah.
are you? Well, give me a double doers on the
I'll
rock.
let the C-suite leave the room. But it should be interesting, and I'm always curious. I've been to these before. Some people haven't, but there's always one person that you pretty much look at everybody going, it's like, one of us will be fired.
Yeah,
It's
Or
real.
at
Like,
least
it's
talk to,
It's
yeah.
usually, as sad as that is, dude, it's almost always the case. Somebody does not make it back employed on the staff.
Jesus Christ. Well, make sure it's not you.
I mean, I've been on these before. I know what not to do. Some
Right.
people just don't get it. You know, you hit the sauce too hard, and then you hit on your boss.
And that
I've heard
is-
that before.
And that'll happen.
I had a buddy go on a trip, and he got so drunk, he thought that he went on the trip with his direct report, and he thought she was giving him the eyes or something. And he got drunk, went back to the hotel, knocked on her door. Meanwhile, it was 1:30 in the morning, and she'd been asleep, ready for a meeting in the morning.
Right. They were both supposed to be at.
You're fired. He got fired. He was fired.
That's good. Knocking on the door. He probably had a little pep talk, walk in the elevator on his
Dude.
way up. Like, she wants me to knock on this
She
door.
wants it, yeah.
She totally wants me to knock on this door. And then she probably just can't hear me. Maybe I'll bang a little bit louder.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
And then there's another couple people, like we went on a happy hour before, and there's a couple people where people still talk about how drunk they got. You never want to be that guy.
See, it's different for me, and everybody's just bombed at these restaurant parties or get-togethers or whatever, so normally it's more like who did hook up, you know what I mean? Someone actually did hook up in a bathroom somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, dude, pretty sure I saw that guy's whole butthole when I opened the bathroom door.
We are a publicly traded company, so you better act.
Act accordingly. That's exciting, though, man. Florida?
It'll be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like the sales conferences. They're exciting because you get to go to a place like that. And like,
And your off time will be cool. You go have a nice meal.
yeah, but for the most part, it's meetings, networking, act accordingly.
Sauce boss. Around 6:30.
Sauce, yeah. And the thing is, I thrive in these settings.
Oh, I know.
People-
I'm not worried about you.
People are feeling your boy.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. Hopefully nobody brings up the Bengals, but you know. And I get back Sunday morning just in time for the AFC NFC championship.
That's right. You gained a couple hours coming back. That's great.
It'll be exciting. So yeah, I'll be in Florida. I'm gonna try to run into DJ Khaled.
Bless up.
Bless up, Major Key. Business is booming. How's business?
Booming.
What do you got going on this weekend?
I'm working, man. Working all weekend.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm taking what I'm given because I'm working for a living. But I'm working actually Sunday. I'm doing the right thing. I don't want to. I'd rather be watching football. But this guy I work with, Nick. You know Nick. He his dad or stepfather, someone close to him, got tickets for the AFC Championship. They live in Denver.
Oh, they like Denver fans?
He's not. That was the thing that I had to at least have him acknowledge to me, like you do not actually care about this. Like let's make that clear that you don't care about this game. And he's like, no, it's cool. I'm like, dude, I've not heard you say one thing about football all year. Now you want the AFC Championship off. So I'm gonna work a double for him so he can fly to Denver and watch the game.
That'll be good. You got big screens on your...
Oh God, no, they're horrible. We have like the worst TVs where I work, but I'm doing the right thing, karma wise. Help him out. I wouldn't. If I was in his position, I would want someone.
Yeah, people have covered for you to go to three Bengals games this year.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, it'll be good. I think. As far as predictions for the games this weekend, so you're taking who?
I'm going to take Denver And I think you're correct. Carolina will win the game
Both
in a close game.
Both the home teams.
In a close game.
The Carolina-Arizona game will definitely be a close game.
Both close games.
Oh, both of them?
Yeah.
I think I never think it's wise to bet against Tom Brady. So I just think that
You've been
I've done
proven right a bunch of times.
it's just like I've never done it. So I think New England and Carolina will have a rematch of the 2005 Super Bowl, I want to say, when Muhsin Muhammad and Ricky Prohl and Steve Smith were involved.
It's a really good one.
That was a great Super Bowl.
Teddy
That was
Brisky.
when it that was the second New England Super Bowl.
Mike Vrabel.
When Adam Vinatieri bailed out Brady the
Troy
second
Brown.
time. And
Talking to you, Mike Reddish.
so I think Carolina versus New England, but we shall see. You never know. That's why they play the game.
I think it's pretty cool. I know they're old dogs, but I do think it's cool that it's going to be Manning Brady again.
That is pretty cool. I agree.
And this is
First of all, I'm
probably the
rooting
last time.
for Peyton Manning.
That'd be cool.
I
Right
like
out with
Peyton
one.
Manning.
It's going to be tough for him, but
Yeah, I think the Denver defense can potentially
and we've
make
got some
plays.
friends in Denver. And
Good people in Denver.
Yes,
they
we
just
do.
took care of us on the previous
Definitely.
trip, and
I'm going to fuck Tommy up.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
I was thinking back on that. I laughed out loud today at lunch thinking back on that.
Yeah, we had a friend fight his brother in
That was
Denver,
the first night we got to Denver. I got to Denver.
and he told us
Legitimate fist fight in the hotel lobby at the Hyatt, and had people bring us over our clothes and say, "You need to leave, all of you."
And so we got kicked out of that hotel, and we walked our friend back to our hotel because he wasn't going home with his brother. And he passed
They
out on
lived
our
together.
floor. And the last thing he said
To his
to
mother.
his mom before his phone died was, "I'm going to fuck Tommy up."
That's good. And then he didn't charge his phone for like 12 more hours. So his mom was probably like, "The fuck is going on?" Meanwhile, his brother went home with like a 33-inch pizza
From Cosmos.
that he could not even get in the Uber. It was so big. It's like, tell him I said fuck you. And he's holding this like giant pizza. I got you. I'm sure he's sorry.
Denver knows how to party for sure.
That was a good time.
So yeah, I'll root for Denver, I guess, in that.
In that, just because our friends are.
Oh man! But
And they
either
beat
way,
the Steelers.
The Steelers are out, and that's all that matters in the world. All is right. Other than that, yeah, I guess we can close out on. I think we'll just close out on a classic cut. I don't know if "You Belong in the City" is the right way to go, or is it "The Heat Is On"? Or what do you
We had
think?
that play Heat Is On because we had that VHS. I can still see it right now of Beverly Hills Cop, and I probably watched that.
This song is. I
as
love
the
that.
very first song, and that's how the movie starts. Was this song?
I agree.
And I did not know that it was Glenn Frey. I never knew that. I just remember like, dude, this song is good because you're watching the truck drive around the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
That is a great movie.
I sometimes drive around to different open mics when I go to do comedy and just listen to "You Belong to the City" the whole time.
Do you really?
No.
That'd be scary.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
That'd be concernicus.
But, yeah, the Heat Is On. And also, Beverly Hills Cop. Whoa.
Great movie.
Great movie. All right. We will see you next week for number 81.
And we'll be in better spirits. No more tributes. Hopefully, we'll be talking about nothing but positive stuff here.
Also, episode 80, shout out to Chris Collinsworth.
And Jay Rice.
And Chris Carter, who
Yeah.
changed the way he spelled his name and his number because of Chris Collinsworth.
Boom.
The Heat Is On.
The heat is on. darker side. Behind the doors, it's a wilder ride. You can make or break, you can win or lose. That's a chance you take when the heat's on you, when the heat is on.
This has been another great presentation by the Four Eyed Radio Network. You can find more information at foureyedradio.com.